Hello everybody and welcome again to my channel. Today we're going to be doing some Reddit Unearthed Arcana, just going over the top posts of the past week and, you know, looking at them and giving my thoughts because I follow the subreddit all day when I just am lazy and not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I love pretty much everything I see on there, and I don't see it getting a lot of love like outside of Reddit. So I'm going to go ahead and give it some love on YouTube. So let's start with the top post of this week. I actually recorded this video already, that's why everything's grayed out. But I had my mic off, so we're going to go look through it again, which it doesn't really matter because I had seen all these things beforehand anyways. But let's get into it. So let's go ahead and start with this. So creators credits are at the bottom. But the first one is Power Word Birth, top post of the week. It's a 9th level necromancy spell available to bards, druids, and wizards. It has a casting time of 1 action, a range of 60 feet, verbal component only, and it is instantaneous. You utter a word of fertility and a creature of your choice appears out of a corpse you can see within range. The creature can be up to CR 10 and the corpse is destroyed. It acts on your initiative and is initially allied with you, but has a powerful sense of self-preservation and will not usually die for you, follow you around, or serve you for a long period of time. If it reasonably perceives you as a threat to it or its spawn, it will become hostile to you until it judges that you are no longer a threat. If allied, you direct it in combat. The creature you choose must be an aberration, dragon, fae, fiend, monstrosity, or a plant. You must have seen the creature before, either in person or some depiction. If you haven't, you can make a DC 20 intelligence check to imagine it. Right, hopefully the audio doesn't go all weird. I had to lower this because it's closer to my mic than normal, or sorry, closer to my mouth than normal. But yeah, overall, love it. There's no wonder it's the top post of the entire week. Letting you create anything you want to, at least under CR 10 of those creature types. And it's like actually creating the creature. It's not just making it pop up and serve you, but you're creating it and it's going to live its own life that is initially allied to you, but it has its own mind, because if you threaten it, then it's not going to serve you and it's going to perceive you as hostile. Overall, this is one of my new favorite spells. If I'm ever playing as a bard, druid / wizard and I get to a 9th level, I'm going to ask them if I can use the spell. In my campaigns, because I'm a DM too, if I'm running one and one of my friends out there who's playing a bard, druid, or wizard in one of the campaigns wants this spell, when they hit the correct appropriate level for that class that they can cast 9th level spells, ask me and I'll probably say you can use it, because this is really freaking cool. Right. So now let's go over to the next one, which is going to be Swan Song. So Swan Song right here is a longsword weapon, legendary rarity. It requires attunement and it only has 1 use. Only 1 use, you say? Well, it must be really good then, and it is. An intricately designed longsword with 2 swans forming the shape of the guard. As an action, you plunge the sword into your chest, reducing your current and maximum hit points to 1. Choose one of the following effects. As soon as the effect is resolved, you lose attunement to Swan Song. So you can pick the White Swan. Every creature of your choice in a 60-foot radius gains the effects of a long rest. So not just HP maxed out, but also their spell slots, you know, their class abilities, and all of that stuff gets refreshed. Creatures dead for less than 1 minute are resurrected as per the Revivify spell. So in sacrificing all of your HP, friends you get are resurrected as per the Revivify spell. I'll go ahead and throw it up screen right now for 3 seconds if you want to pause and read it real quick. 1, 2, and 3. If instead you don't want to help your allies but want to condemn your enemies, you can cast the Black Swan. Every creature of your choice in a 60-foot radius takes 150 points of necrotic damage. Any creatures affected by this which are still alive must succeed on a DC 17, pretty high, con saving throw, or die. Just flat out die. So this is a very unique weapon. I don't think I've seen anything that... I mean, as it says, you know, Swan Song, an ultimate weapon for the ultimate sacrifice. It does require the ultimate sacrifice, reducing your current and max hit points to 1, but you do get, you know, a very ultimate effect from it. The White Swan is really good. Yeah, that's it. It's really good. And the Black Swan is really, really good as well. I feel like if you're a DM and you're running this and then they use the Black Swan against your BBEG, maybe make it so that they don't die. Even if they fail the con save, just take like a bunch of damage. Because if I had it like an entire like year or 6 or even 3-month campaign or whatever dedicated to telling the story of my players as they face off against this massive bad guy, and then boom, he gets killed the first round in combat by rowing low on a con save throw, then even if that player only has 1 max hand current hit point, I still don't necessarily like that all the way. But it is two of the week for a reason. It's very, very unique, very, very cool overall. Alright, the third one, the Eyes of Longing. So it's a wondrous uncommon item, does not require attunement. It is 2 stone eyes carved with irises and pupils, sometimes found embedded in the lost eyes. Sometimes found embedded in the eyes of statues depicting long lost lovers. So while they're both on the same plane of existence, these stone eyes will always turn to look in the direction of the other. If they are on different planes of existence, they will spin around randomly. If one eye is destroyed, the other becomes non-magical. I really love the flavor in this. Flavor. I love flavor in D&D. Item flavor, spell flavor, class flavor. All of this is delicious. I'm sure that made someone uncomfortable. I'm sorry. But I don't know how many campaigns take place on different planes of existence. But if yours does, that's pretty cool to have this extra effect. But while on the same plane of existence, that's the real cool thing. If your party really loves this NPC, you can introduce Eyes of Longing so that they can always know where that NPC is if they ever want to meet up and get together, or like, there's a plenitude of options. Plenitude? Oh my god, I really need to go to sleep. I cannot speak right now. But there are a lot of really cool options that you can do with this lovely item right here. But oops, spoiled the next one. The next one is the Hellkite. I'm gonna zoom. Oh my god, never mind, I'm not gonna zoom in. So Hellkite, among the dragon kind, Hellkites are known to be one of the most ferocious and hostile. They are more related to wyverns than true dragons, and like wyverns, they are beast-like in their behavior. 5 intelligence. One might mistake a Hellkite for a young red dragon were it not for the Hellkite's distinctly different brown coloration and its monstrous behavior. -3, 5 charisma. They also have similar life cycles to wyverns, making training them from hatching possible. Dangerous mounts. Those who are mad enough might try to tame a Hellkite, but few succeed. Those who do begin the training of a Hellkite when it hatches and are aware of that fact at any time. When agitated enough, the rider might burn to a crisp just as likely as their enemies. Still, the idea of a fire-breathing, relatively obedient dragon tempts many a powerful leader. Hunters in the mountains. Hellkites like to live in caves and mountains, descending down to the lowlands to hunt. They use their fiery breath to create brush fires or forest fires, which force their prey out into the open. And then there's the credits, and then there's a stat block. So I'm going to go ahead and read off the important stuff. AC 15, hit points 58, 80 feet of total speed with 20 of it possibly being walking. 16 strength, 12 dex, 13 con, 5 intelligence, 12 charisma, and 12 wisdom and 5 charisma. Has a +3 to perception, immunity to fire damage, dark vision, passive perception of 13, no languages marked, challenge rating of 4, and then its trait, Wounded Fury. While it has 15 points or fewer, the Hellkite has advantage on attack rolls. In addition, it deals an extra 5 damage to any target it hits with a melee attack. So that's a possible of 10 extra damage every turn if it hits 2 melee attacks. Speaking of which, it can make 2 melee attacks, one with its bite and one with its claws. So they both have +5 to heat, +5 to hit. Man, I am tired. 10-foot reach to bite because it has a long neck, I guess. Hits one creature, deals damage plus fire damage because it has fire in its mouth. Flavor. Claws are +5 to hit. range of 5 feet, and then it does slightly more slashing damage, but no fire damage. It also has a breath attack like dragons tend to do. Exiles fire in a 15-foot cone. Each creature must make a dex save that's actually pretty easy to pass, taking 68 on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. But yeah, this is probably my favorite monster I've seen, which I'm sorry for the next monster, but I'm definitely going to incorporate this in my campaign. So my friends, because I know you're the only ones who watch this, prepare. So the next one, the Wendigo version 3. I think it's broken, but this face makes me uncomfortable. So I'm going to scroll down. 14 AC, 90 hit points, really high stats across the board. Has low intelligence and charisma, again more beast-like, but less beast-like than that Hellkite. Has a lot of saving throws, a lot of skills, a lot of damage resistances, condition immunities, senses, languages, understands common but cannot speak it. It actually has a language. CR of 4. I think that's low. I think it needs to be 5 or maybe even 6 because of the curse, but we're going to go over the curse last. So first trait, Starving Hunter. The Wendigo has advantage on intelligence checks or wisdom checks to find other humanoid creatures. It also makes 2 claw attacks, so it has an extra +1 to hit because it's extra. It has higher strength than the Hellkite. It has 5 foot of range, and it deals more damage, so 15 slashing damage and 7 necrotic damage twice. But my opinion, the insane thing is the Consume Flesh. So it has +6 to hit, 5 foot range. It does 15 damage, so it does the same damage as the claw, but no necrotic. Unless the target fails this con saving throw with a DC of 14, it takes an additional 9 necrotic damage, and its hit point maximum is reduced by the same amount. So on short rests, because it doesn't specify here, but the creator specifies in the comments. I'll just show it to you that on the long rest or a spell that raises max HP, that's when you get your max HP back, but that's still really insane. It also heals for that amount. So those two alone probably, I think, make it CR of 5 at least, and this might toss it up to 6. So when the Wendigo is killed, the closest humanoid must succeed on a DC 14 saving throw or become cursed with the Wendigo spirit. If there are more than one creature in range, the DM chooses the target at random. The creature has an insatiable hunger for humanoid flesh, specifically of its own race. While cursed, the creature feels like constant hunger and must succeed on a wisdom saving throw with a DC of 12 anytime there's a humanoid within sight of it. So this should say corpse, but it doesn't. Or spend its next turn consuming the flesh of the corpse. The cursed creature must make the save with disadvantage if the corpse is of the same race. The creature can repeat the save at the end of the subsequent turns. Once you succeed, you're immune to the effects for 1 hour. If you fail more than 4 times total, not just in that window before you succeed. So if you fail once, then succeed, then you're immune for an hour, then fail a second time after that hour, then you're at 2. So it doesn't go away. Unless you remove curse on it. So, zoinks. Failing 4 times or be transformed is kind of absurd. The only way to reverse this transformation is with a wish spell. So the only way to undo this is with like a 9th level spell. So, yeah, zoinks. This curse, in my opinion, is kind of really busted. At this point, you probably shouldn't be failing DC 12 wisdom saving throws unless you have no wisdom. But that's still a big yikes for me. I do really love the the monster as a whole. Chaotic evil, large undead. I love all of the flavor that it's been given, but this curse is something else. Okay, next thing, spell. So the first comment is that all of these spells do way too little damage. So if you want to keep that in mind and lower the level to like 5th, then by all means have fun. I also don't think this one should be a different level than the rest of the 2. So if you want to introduce all 3 of these variants, then keep them all at same level. So it's essentially just a 1 action, 120 feet, verbal somatic component with concentration. Storm Spear. So you form lightning into a crackling spear of energy, which you can use to either make one melee spell attack against a target within 5 feet of you, or one ranged spell attack against a target that you can see within the 120 foot range. Then the spear vanishes. On a hit, the target takes 4d8 plus 15, pretty low damage. And if it isn't immune to the damage, it must make a con saving throw. On failure, it falls prone and becomes paralyzed and restrained for the duration. It repeats the saving throw at the end of each turn, at least while you're concentrating, ending the effect on a success. On a miss, the target takes half as much damage and does not get paralyzed. First variant is the Freezing Icicle. Does cold damage, still does the paralyzation. I'm not entirely sure why it's a different level. The Bone Claw deals necrotic damage, and the target can't be paralyzed if it's immune to disease or cannot be magically aged. And it has some extra little flavor sentences at the end. But yeah, if you like lower the level to 5th, I think this is a really good spell to have in your games. Really cool overall. Alrighty. We'll go over this next. The Otherworldly Patron. The empty, abandoned by all else mortals, can find themselves filled with a bursting dread and embraced with a deafening silence. These people find themselves on a day-to-day basis staring into a void that whispers to them dark secrets and ideas, but only those who look into the void and scream back can truly understand how morbid these thoughts truly are. The empty are those who are scorched not only by people, but the primal forces of the world, be it gods or the elementals themselves. What? I'm skipping that sentence because I can't read right now. Those cursed with this power feel only ever the need to consume and fill the void that lies within themselves. So you get extra spells, absorb elements, false life. It's a weird combo, but overall they're both flavorful. Blindness, deafness, really nice. Locate creature, anti-life shell, life transference. Those are all really cool. Phantasmal force is really nice. Alright, now for the main class concept. Starting at first level, the void within you allows you to pull power from others to fill the emptiness within yourself. You have soul shards equal to your charisma modifier that can be used to amplify your power and corrupt the spells of others. So, Soul Burn. Once per turn, when casting a warlock spell of first level or higher that deals damage, you may expend a soul shard to have the spell deal additional necrotic damage equal to your charisma modifier. I would probably make it a little bit higher, so like a flat, d4 or d6 plus your charisma modifier. That would be insane at the lower levels, but scales better. And then if you gain the Pact of the Blade or Chain Boon, you may use this feature on attacks made with your Pact weapon or familiar instead of having to expel a spell slot for it, which is nice. Because spell slots are a precious commodity these days. You can also haunt an enemy. When you see an enemy within 30 feet, you can regain hit points as a result of the spell. You may use your reaction to expend as many soul shards as you have to reduce the amount healed, equal to your charisma modifier times the number of spell shards expended. That's really cool. Reducing enemy healing is not something PCs get to do a lot, mostly an NPC thing. So having that built into this this Otherworldly Patron is really cool. So now, how you get soul shards back? You can regain them by expending your reaction when you kill a creature within 30 feet of you with a warlock spell of first level or higher. And then you can regain all spended soul shards at the end of a long rest. Alright, so the next part. Ravenous Intent. At 6th level, your hunger grows and your need to fuel yourself has become so intense that even pain means nothing as long as you can devour those around you. As a reaction, when a creature makes an attack roll against you, you can give that creature advantage, and if they hit you, you gain advantage on all attack rolls against that target until the end of your next turn. So that's really nice. But the sad thing is you can only use it once per short or long rest. I would probably make that equal to your charisma modifier, because then it's better. You can use it more times, more fun, more flavor. Devoured Empathy. Beginning at 10th level, the void has stripped so much of you away that you barely feel anything at all, and as such your physique reflects that. So, because you have no empathy and it's all been eaten away, you cannot be charmed, you cannot be scared, and you cannot be stunned. Love the flavor. The 14th level, Starved Singularity. Your hunger has grown so intense that you are willing to rip apart those around you, if it means it will fill the void within yourself. As an action, you may unleash the emptiness that fills you and force every creature within 30 feet of you to make a charisma saving throw, or suffer 6d6 necrotic damage on a fail save. and gain half as much, and take half as much as on a successful save. You gain temporary hit points equal to half the total damage dealt as you give yourself a fleeting sense of completion. So this is really nice, especially if you combo it with Ravenous Intent. So you can Starved Singularity to gain a bunch of temporary hit points, and then expend those temporary hit points with a Ravenous Intent, or, you know, a few Ravenous Intents if you change it so it's your Charisma modifier, not just once, in order to, you know, tear them apart. But I really like this flavor of, you know, sacrificing yourself to be able to go more ham on your enemies. It's a really nice Patron, and I like this art. This art is the perfect amount of creepy, and overall really nice. So then this is 5 items. This is a lot of items, so I'm not going to read through all of them. I'm just going to TLDR them because there's a lot of items. So the walking stick is really cool, being common and not requiring attunement or anything. Thumbs up for being just a cool common item that has niche use. The breastplate is really cool. So Scorned Heart gives you disadvantage on being charmed or people you like, but it also in return lets you cast Hellish Rebuke for those that reject you. That's got a lot of flavor. If you have a party of 5, you can get plus 2 AC and terror on top of the normal AC of the breastplate, and that's really cool. You can get the Marlin Lunger, which is a fish rapier, which gives you extra attack as a magic weapon should, and also prevents you from taking the negative effects of underwater fighting. So if you don't know, underwater fighting sucks, so being able to negate those effects as well as give you extra movement is really cool. Extra movement everyone loves. Circlet of the Sharpened Mind is in my personal opinion the best one of these. You can make up to 4 magical swords and attack with each of them at the end of all of your turns. It gives another reason for you to put stats into intelligence, or if you're already in intelligence, then it rewards you for that, since there's not a lot in the game that rewards you for being smart. And the Sass of Sorcerer's Synergy is also really cool, probably the second coolest one on here. But it essentially lets you copy spells that you see cast, and then when you do, it lets you add your own sorceress flavor to that spell, and then also lets you convert the sash, you know, the whole appearance of it to fit your flavor. Yeah, so that about does it for this week. I'll see you next week. If you enjoyed, you know, then come join the subreddit. I'm not logged in, I'm just realizing, but if I was, you'd see I'm subscribed because the subreddit is really cool, and I don't see it getting a lot of love. So, love this subreddit, and see you out there.